Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining Sarah and I. My name is Soila. I'm the founding editor of the divorcemagazine.co.uk. If you have any issues or concerns, or if you want to know a little bit more about the divorce process UK or going through divorce or life after divorce, the divorcemagazine.co.uk has got a lot of information on there. And all the information that you will find on there are from divorce professionals, so coaches, family solicitors, family mediators, except the stories that are actually about personal experiences. So those come from people, who've gone through divorce themselves. But there's a lot of information on the divorcemagazine.co.uk. Today we have Sarah, who's, I'll let Sarah introduce herself. But don't forget to subscribe on the Divorce Magazine on our YouTube channel, and so you can be updated every time we have a new video on there. Hi, Sarah. Do you want to tell us what it is that you do?
Yes, I'm Sara Davison, and I'm a divorce and breakup coach. So I help people cope with both the emotional roller coaster, but also the practical challenges that you face when you go through a breakup.
Okay.
So it covers everything from heartbreak, separation, and divorce.
I will tell you something, Sarah. I have come to realize I have been divorced twice, and I have come to realize just how important it might not seem like that when you're going through it, or just after divorce. It might not seem like you need to deal with any emotional leftovers, so to speak, but it does catch up with you at some point. So on the divorcemagazine.co.uk, we are big on asking people to seek help or support when they're going through divorce or after divorce or at some point, because it does tend to linger if not dealt with. Isn't that right?
Oh, it's so true. And I went through my own divorce, actually. I mean, I've been coaching for now 20 years, life coaching, business coaching.
Yeah.
But when I went through my own divorce 7 years ago, I realised there really wasn't any support that was specific to the issues that I was facing. So how to deal with that utter devastation, that overwhelm, the confusion with the legal system, if you're getting a divorce that you're suddenly thrown into, managing conflict with your ex, or, if someone's had an affair, how to cope with that. And if you throw children into the mix as well, it becomes, a really overwhelming, confusing time.
Yeah.
So I looked for help on the internet and various books and things, but the specific help that I needed, I couldn't find. So in the end, I ended up creating my own divorce coaching program to get me through my divorce and to help my friends and family and my son as well to cope with it. And so that's really what I teach and I share with other people now.
There's a lot of heartbreak in divorce. So if I were one of your clients and I come to you and I ask you, how can I get through this heartbreak? How can I get over this heartbreak? What would you say to me?
Well, I've got so many techniques and strategies that I've developed, and everything I do is very simple and easy to use, and often with immediate results. And that's why coaching is so powerful for this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I have lots of different techniques, but really my goal with you is to work with you to make sure that you face your negative emotions and you don't run away from them. Because a lot of the progress that is made is due to taking back your control over your own life again. Often when we're heartbroken, we're in reaction to something someone else has done. Our confidence is very low, our self-esteem is very low. So it's about rebuilding the self-esteem and self-confidence, but also realising that, take off those rose-tinted glasses and look at the relationship for what it really was. Because if it's ended suddenly, even if it wasn't your decision, there's got to be things there that weren't quite right, and they weren't the perfect partner for you, because obviously the ideal partner wouldn't leave. So it's about taking off those rose-tinted glasses and really looking at what was wrong with your relationship, what didn't you like that you now no longer have to tolerate, and then looking at tipping that balance from looking to the past, which is all about your story, reconnecting with telling your story over and over again, and surrounding yourself with people that want to know the details, and then sort of flipping that to the future, where you create a compelling future that you're excited to get up and live. So if someone's left your life, there's a hole, there's a gap in your life, and we need to put together little activities, little stepping stones and actions you can follow through that will fill that gap, and therefore you won't feel that isolation or that loneliness, and that heartbreak will dissipate as you tip those scales towards moving towards something more exciting.
So you're saying the heartbreak itself is, it's a what's the word? It's a compound of a lot of other things. There's the heartbreak, but there's also the wish for the past, there's the fear of the future, there's all that comes with
Yeah.
it.
I think it's aggravated by all of that, and it's always interesting to me that heartbreak actually feels like a real physical pain, even though it's not. So, there's a lot of things to deal with heartbreak. And I think it's about everybody's different and everybody deals with things in a different way. Some people stay in anger more. Some people go to sadness and depression more easily than they would go to anger. Other people just get very anxious. And some people do what I call stuff their emotions. And stuffing is where you suppress all those negative emotions. So to the outside world, you look to be coping very well. Maybe you're working longer hours, you're going excessively to the gym, or the more negative side of it, you might be partying more, drinking more, anything not to feel those emotions. So I think it's very much a bespoke coaching service that I offer, that I have to look at the individual, their circumstance, if they have kids, if they don't, whether it was a short-term relationship, what the impact is on their whole life, and then break it down to find the specific strategies that will work for them best.
Yeah, and the loss that comes with divorce and separation, there's a huge loss and a sense of grieving that comes with that.
Yeah, and actually it's known as the second most traumatic life experience after death of a loved one. And the cycle that we follow after a breakup is the same as the 5 stages that you go through when you're grieving the loss of someone that you love. And they are, the first stage is denial. And that's where you stick your head in the sand and say, oh, this isn't happening. This isn't real. And a lot of the time we do that because if we talk about it, if we feel we talk about it or tell people what's going on, then it makes it more real. So we tend not to talk about it and act as if it's fine, hoping it will go away. The next stage is anger. And that's where some people go into rage even. I've seen clients who are just furious. Why are you doing this? How could you break up the family? And on a lesser level, some people just see it as, they experience it more as stress and anxiety. And then the third stage I find really interesting because it's called bargaining. And bargaining is a stage you go through where you're really trying to do anything you can not to face the breakup. So maybe you'll go on a weight loss program, or you'll start cooking your ex's favourite meals, or if they've already left, it will be trying to get them back by forgiving maybe things that you would never have compromised on before, like maybe infidelity, adultery, forgiving that just so you don't have to face the change. The fourth stage is depression. And I see a lot of people that are stuck in that stage, and purely because they think that's if they've gone to the GP and been diagnosed as being depressed, they think that's a lifelong condition. But actually, the reality of it is it's a natural part of the grieving process, and you will have to go through that to let go and come out the other side. So that's normal. And then you go up the curve a bit more to the final stage, the 5th stage, which is acceptance. And that's where you really, come to terms with the fact that it's over and you're not going back and they're not coming back. But that's where I see a lot of clients that are actually stuck. They're like, okay, well, I've kind of dealt that. I don't want him or her back. I'm done with it. But what now? My life's empty. I'm not excited. I'm not happy still. And that's where it's about setting goals for the future.
Okay, so it's quite a journey, isn't it?
Gosh, it's a roller coaster of emotions. And then also there's the practical challenges that nobody really tells you about. Suddenly you're not invited on the dinner parties with the couples that you're friends with because you're the plus one and it's all a bit awkward. People say, oh, where's your husband or where's your wife? And you have that awkward moment where when you say, oh, actually I'm divorced, they look at you like, oh my goodness, what do I say now? So there's lots of techniques I've developed just to cope with those everyday situations and challenges that you find yourself in.
Yeah. So because the reason why I actually got in touch with you is because you have a fantastic newsletter that you send out on and off. And the last one you sent off was one talking about a divorce retreat that you're going to be having. I think it's in February. Yes,
February the 4th and 5th, the Saturday and Sunday, yes.
And this is not your first divorce retreat. And actually it's divorce and separation. It's not just divorce, is it?
Yes, no, I've had, this will be my 3rd or 4th one that I've run in the UK, and they've gone down so well, actually. It's been phenomenal. Yeah. I've had same-sex marriage breakdowns, people coming. I've had just long-term relationships, engagements, and then, long marriages, short marriages, men, women. It's a real mix of different people, different backgrounds. But I keep the groups very small.
Okay.
So maximum of 12.
Okay.
And we work together in, a very informal and relaxed environment, but a very supportive, nurturing environment. And basically, I immerse my delegates in all my techniques and strategies.
Yeah.
So we start off with, quite often they come in, they're quite upset. They're not sure if they want to share. They're just broken down. Their confidence is low. And then we talk about facing your fears, and then we do a lot of practical exercises. So they will actually face their personal fears. So we'll work out for each of them what they are, because everybody's different. Yeah. And then we'll face them, and then we'll let go of things, let go of the baggage, let go of the pain. So I've got lots of techniques around that. So really, there's a bit of a low where people are, quite emotional, but then we build them back up by replacing all that negative stuff that they've left with positive things, teaching them skills to be more positive, be more confident, being aware of how their body language will affect their brain and how they can take control of that remote control to their brain. So the next, on the Sunday, it's very much, this one in February, I'm getting a stylist to come in who works with celebrities. She's amazing. Yeah. She's going to come in and show how just by changing a few little things, not necessarily expensive, just little things can really boost your confidence and make you feel more confident. Yeah. And I'm going to follow up that, actually building on that confidence and then creating that compelling future. Like, everyone will leave with an action plan of things that they can do to keep them moving forward. Yeah. And this could be 6, 7, 8 pages of little steps that they want to do to keep that momentum after the retreat. So they're well and truly on the way to recovery.
Do they have access to you after the retreat?
Yeah, they can come see me. All my clients a lot of them either can phone me or Skype sessions or face-to-face. I have a clinic in Ascot, but I also have a base in London. Yeah. So, I'm available for my clients. And once they've done my retreat, they really are part of my family. Yeah. A lot of them feel that they've lost their family, but the support and the network they get from coming to that retreat with the other delegates around them actually gives them friendships which people have kept for months. It's a lifelong friendship.
It's true. And I think because why I asked you if you're going to be with, if they have access to you after the retreat, is because you're accompanying them through such a critical time in their lives, and they're entrusting you with so much stuff that they probably wouldn't have done somebody in their family, their friends, and you know how to handle it. You take it upon yourself and you deal with it for them and with them. So I just imagine,
I see very much my coaching is different to therapy and counselling in the way that my job is to empower them and give them a toolkit of strategies that they can use on their own. So they won't need to come back to me. I mean, if there's a new issue that comes up, then sure, they can come back to me. Or if they want a revision on something, that's great. But a lot of the time, they'll come on the weekend and they'll have a set of tools that they can use. So they don't necessarily need to come back. They'll get a thick manual, and they'll also have, my Facebook page where I'm always posting, and my Twitter. So a lot of them will get enough from the retreat to be up and running. And some of them won't come back, and some of them may come back if new things arise, like maybe a court case or something where they need specific help for that specific situation. Yeah. But the emotional tools, they'll have those, and they won't just use them on their relationship. They'll use them as life skills going forward.
Because what I read on your website about it is the way you're actually going to tackle some really important questions and issues that come up for people, like how can I actually really get over my ex? How can I deal with my anger? How can I deal with the emotional overwhelm that comes with it? And these are real questions that come from people who are going through a relationship breakdown. Yeah,
and there's lots of ways of doing it. I've got strategies that are, they can listen and learn, but we'll practice them. So some of them involve imagining and using your mind to relive things or change the way you see them, change the way you feel about things, literally just letting go of things, but then replacing them with something else. So there's a lot of physical things. There's drawing, there's discussions, there's role plays. It's fun, and because they're interactive and they're involved and they're actually physically moving as well as talking and taking things in, listening to things. It's a very powerful combination because it really affects you and gets you on all levels.
Okay. So, Sara, if anybody wanted to get in touch with you, whether it's to do with the retreat in February or to do with your services on a daily or not daily basis, because I'm sure just
well, I am on call actually for a lot of my clients, so yeah, quite often it is 24/7,
okay.
2 o'clock in the morning, and weekends. Actually, weekends is the time where you've got handovers and drop offs of kids.
Yes.
I get a lot of calls at the weekend for certain clients that need that service. But yeah, I mean, I've got my website, which is saradavison.com. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. I've also got a book that came out on the 1st of September, which is available on Amazon, called Uncoupling: How to Survive and Thrive.
Do you have it there with you? Can you show us the cup? Do you have it there with you?
I don't have one right here, but I can get one.
Yes, go ahead. So we can see what, yeah. Excellent. Oh, yes, okay. Thrive After.
So, and that's out on Amazon now. And yeah, it went in at #1 bestseller on Amazon, which was amazing.
Fantastic. Well done.
It's just about to come out in America as well. And it's been translated into Chinese for anyone that's listening. I'd rather have it in Chinese. And the audiobook will be available by Easter, I think. So,
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. So now for all those who've listened to this interview or who've watched it, you have heard about Sara Davison. You know where you can find her on her website, which is saradavison.com. And and if you're interested in her retreat, which sounds amazing, I have to say, it's on February the
4th and 5th.
4th and 5th.
And it's the Ashdown Park Hotel, which is in West Sussex.
Excellent. So, and everything will be on your site, won't it?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much, Sara.
Thanks. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you for coming on. So if you haven't subscribed to the divorcemagazine.co.uk channel, YouTube channel, please do so. I think the subscribe button will be here or here, one of those two places. It keeps shifting. So do subscribe, and we'll keep you informed of anything else that comes, all the other videos and the interviews that we have with divorce professionals. This is Soila from the divorcemagazine.co.uk, and I will speak with you later. Bye-bye.